So I suppose you'll be wanting to know how the sleeping room was, obviously. I'm still alive, it didn't kill me. It tried, but I'm still alive. It was a film. The whole mutoscope found footage thing is the single best thing in the movie. Everything else is pretty crap compared to that. They put their money in on the mutoscope. I mean, they did a really nice job with it, and I'm impressed. I like that bit. But the rest of the story they've crafted around it is really a mess, and it doesn't work very well. Uh, they start off and they open with this. Yes, that's our heroine dying on a beach in Brighton. Oh, good. That's a good way to start a film. I've seen that before. All right, we're gonna do one of those how this happens sort of things. Only there's actually no transition of any kind. They just sort of pan away, and then she's talking to a guy in a van.
Ready, you
So we sort of don't really know. I mean, I guess I couldn't afford, like 20 minutes earlier or 3 days before this. So it's sort of a little muddled what was going on there. Was that on purpose, or did you accidentally cut a scene from the end of the film right into the beginning of it? I don't know. Well, okay, she talks to this guy in the van, she talks to a guy in a car who turns out later on he's a pimp. He sends her home to her madam, who's sending her off to. Actually, she's theoretically going to send her to this job. Blah, blah, blah dialogue, she gets sent to the job. She goes to the job to meet this guy who's renovating a house that turns out to be an old brothel. The bits he's in were a brothel, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. The movie is, again, not entirely clear. Is it just this area here, the place he's in? Because there's like a downstairs and upstairs. I don't know. It doesn't really mesh very well as to what's what. Anyway, he's renovating this thing, and he's found a mutoscope in it, and we have some mutoscope footage, and I want you to take a look at this because this is actually really cool.
It's a Victorian mutoscope. I found it here. It works on the same principle as a flipbook, one of the first motion picture devices. What the butler saw to you and me.
Cool. Does it work?
Fancy you gander, madam? But it's a bit stiff. Needs a good crank.
Oh, mercy.
No, you need to wind it. It's mechanical.
Oh my god.
Okay, that is like an authentic mutoscope. They've done their work on this. I think, and I'm guessing, because I don't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure this is like called the Big Head model. It's an old cheap tin model that they used to put out on like the piers and arcades and things. It's very common. There's more expensive models that were made for gentry locations type stuff, but this was the most common type of thing you would see. Now, there were others made, obviously, but this was a very common one, and it fits the period they're looking at, so that's all nice. Now, there's bits of it that don't It looks like parts of it are not entirely authentic, which wouldn't surprise me because to get a brand new, well, you don't get a brand new one. You get one that's been cleaned up and refurbed. That's about $5,000. For what they're showing you here, that's about $5,000. No joke. So yeah, I could see them getting, sort of a broken down model and cleaning it up a bit and putting their own side on it so that they didn't have to pay a lot of money, and that's fine. Because they did the research and it looks authentic, it looks good. They did a very nice job on reconstructing the mutoscope. And if it's all non-authentic, then they've done a hell of a job reconstructing it. They got some really good shots of the interior of it and it moving, and they're perfect. They're spot on. They're exactly how mutoscopes work. That's the beauty of what they've done here, is they've really put some love and attention into that mutoscope. If they put the same love and attention into the rest of the film, it probably would have been a very good film. But the mutoscope and its footage gets the mainstay. The plot and dialogue around that get more attention. And then there's sort of like a jumble of stuff floating around on the outside that just doesn't really work out very well. Anyway, here's, we get this thing where this guy is being possessed by the ghost of the guy that was on the mutoscope, and maybe he's come down through the ages through family members, or maybe not. I really don't understand that bit. Maybe he's just randomly possessing people. I have a hard time understanding. And her character is somehow related, but sort of vague again on how that all works out. Because this guy's like Victorian era, and then we have this thing where her mother killed her parents for some reason. I guess they were possessed by spirits of old, and I don't know. He recognizes her as a child of his descent, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you get the idea of what's going to happen here. And yeah, everything you think is going to happen happens. The pimp shows up, beats up the guy. He gets killed. The guy chases a girl around. She gets away. Yay! There's very little surprise in this. Again, like I said, the mutoscope stuff is the best stuff you're going to get. And not just this little bit that you see here. This is where they do the nice interiors on the mutoscope, but there's more mutoscope footage later on, and the idea of found footage mutoscope stuff still really appeals to me. But really, the big letdown on this one is got to be this ending bit. So here she is, talking to her buddy out on the beach, and I'll let you see.
We are.
What are you doing?
There's nowhere else to run, Ellie. You might know.
Hey, remember this? Yeah, he stabs her, she falls down. Oh, this is where we came in the beginning of the film. Apparently he's supposed to have been possessed by the bad guy, and now she's dying on the beach, as we saw when we came in. But just to make sure it's extra confusing, we then...
You sure can sleep?
That's right. She's in the van with the guy who just stabbed her, so everything's okay. That's the end of the movie. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to mean. They did a really bad job of communicating what the hell was supposed to be going on there. I think they did the have your cake and eat it too. Oh, look, she got killed by the guy. Think it was just a dream. Hey, fellas, that didn't work out. You should, the whole getting stabbed thing, just left it out. It would have worked out better that way. Anyway, that's the film. It's not great, but like I said, they did a hell of a job on the mutoscope stuff, and if you're interested, definitely take a look for that. But overall, I can't tell you it's going to be a great watch. The film is a bit muddled in a lot of places, and yeah, that's all there really is to say. The mutoscope stuff was great, the rest of it was eh. That's what I've got for you today. Join me next time for more Amazon Roulette. Lecter out.